Yo, listen, before we get to this video, I want to just mention the Real Estate Wealth Accelerator this March 11th and 12th in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you are doing transactions, doing wholesale deals, flipping houses, making a bunch of money, but you want to learn how to start building wealth through real estate, come spend 2 days with myself, Pace Morby, Cody Sperber, Jamil Damji, Kent Clothier, Chris Noggle, Nick Perry, Greg Herleen, Brett Tanner, the list goes on and on. These are all individuals who have created a lot of money in the transactional business, wholesaling and flipping homes, but now they have shown and proven how to be able to create wealth through real estate. I would urge you, if you are in the real estate business and making money wholesaling or flipping, and you want to actually start to build wealth, show up to the Wealth Accelerator. The link will be right down here in the comments below. It's March 11th and 12th in Scottsdale, Arizona. It will be life-changing. Don't miss it. Link in the comments below. March 11th and 12th in Scottsdale. All right, now you can check out the video. All right, so for years, I've always been asked like, wow, you're so positive, you're so happy. How do you keep that going even when times can be a little tough? So I have a couple strategies that I use that will help me remain positive. And a lot of that has to do with how I think about life and giving it perspective, again, even when times get rough. So the first thing I do morning and night is I practice gratitude. I am honestly grateful for the things that I have in my life, and I practice that by actually giving thanks, meaning like at night when I go to bed with my wife, we do a little prayer, and the vast majority of that prayer is me giving thanks for all the things we have. First and foremost is health. That is always going to be priority for me, my wife, my child, and my friends and family. And so every morning, every night, again, we go to bed and we're just thankful for the roof over our head, for the food that we eat, for the health that we have, for the air that we breathe, all of the things, for the cars, for the opportunity to affect other people and be a leader in this space. All those things, every night and every morning, I give thanks, and I actually audibly say it. That way, I'm registering it in my thoughts, and I'm psychologically, at least the science has shown, psychologically, when you're saying things, your body starts to believe it and reacts differently. So that's first strategy number one, is morning and night, I am verbally giving thanks for all the things we have. Secondly, and I know this is simplistic, but I focus on the positive in my life. Again, I am a huge hater of the news. I do not watch news. I never watch news, even when someone brings it up to me. I say, stop. I don't watch news. I don't care. Now, I'm not oblivious to all the happenings in the world, but what I will tell you is news is emphatically and overwhelmingly negative, right? Whether it's accidents on the freeway, whether it's, it's just negative. I hate it. I don't even want to bring it up because I don't even like talking about it. But I do pay attention to what's happening in the world to some extent, the bigger stories. And for that reason, I focus on the positive. Again, I'm always eliminating the negative, which would be point number 3. I limit the negativity that goes on in my world, the negativity that potentially could be brought up by my thoughts. I focus on the things that are actually going well, and that's going to be the priority. And so the first 3 things that I've talked about is continue to be grateful and appreciative and give thanks. Think of all the positive that is going on in your world. So for example, be present, right? In the present moment, what is actually happening to you that is actually negative? And if you really are thinking about that, even as you are watching this video, my guess is you're going to say nothing. It's all positive. I'm healthy. I'm sitting here. I'm breathing. It's a great day. The sun is shining. All those things are positive things. So I focus my energy and thoughts on the present, and most always in the present, it's a positive scenario, right? And then I then also eliminate the things that are negative. That way I don't have to, dredge up all the things that are going on. Listen, the world is a tough enough place. I don't need to have all the negative things that are going on in the world affect my day-to-day, because it affects how I communicate with others, such as my wife and baby. Now, throughout the day, some things that I try to do is I try to make sure I'm, connected to positive people. I don't want to be people that are dragging me down. So you got to look around who you hang around. Are these people that bring you up or bring you down? Do they talk about the news and the gossip and all this crazy stuff that's happening in the world? Or do they talk about fun things and exciting things and happy things and opportunistic things? What are they focused on? Because whatever they're focused on is what they're going to communicate about. So even if I do have families, very specifically, that does focus a lot of their time on news, I actually shut it down completely when I'm around them. I say, hey, listen, we're not going to talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about that. Hey, we're not going here on politics. Hey, we're not going here on, COVID. Hey, we're not going here on all these different things that people are trying to create drama. People thrive on drama. And so I just shut it down when I am around those people. And on top of that, I limit my exposure to the people. This is day to day. If there's someone that tends to be in that negative mindset, if they're riddled with anxiety or stress, I tend not to focus or I tend not to try to be around that person. I'm not saying that person is a bad person. I'm not saying that they're negative overall. I'm just saying that they tend to be more so than I am, and I'm not trying to bring that into my world. And then another interesting thing that I do throughout the day is I try to bring some sort of comedic enlightenment. Now, whether I'm bringing that and I'm making jokes or I'm making fun of myself in front of my baby and that makes her laugh, I'm trying to create laughter right now. For some of you, you guys love funny movies. Great, do that. Spend time watching funny movies. Laughter will create what I believe, scientists would correct me if I'm wrong here, but there'll be more serotonin released, right? Which will create a happier mood, and it will release anxiety and stress and depression. But it's because of laughter. Again, I've read somewhere that even the act of smiling will change your attitude. Now, I want to end this actually by talking about like when things aren't going great, right? It's not always puppy dogs and rainbows, and this isn't meant to be woo-woo and you're 100% positive all the time and everything's wonderful. That's not the case. There are difficult days, there's difficult weeks, there's difficult months, there's difficult seasons in your life, and I can respect that. I've gone through plenty in my life. And the reason why people would say I have this kind of shoulder shrug mentality is because inherently I know that season will pass. I know through time it will not be the way it is right now. But how do I actively handle that in the moment? Well, it comes from taking perspective, kind of putting myself in someone else's shoes and saying, how would I advise them if they were asking me for help going through this? If they were experiencing this, what would I tell them to help them through that? And I try to put that in perspective so that way I'm always in the place of reasoning my way through it versus getting emotional about it, right? Now, there are times to be emotional. Death would be one of them. Grieving is real. It is very therapeutic. But I also put it in perspective of I can't spend too much time there. I need to be going through my life in a way that is positive, that is joyful, that is helping others. And if there's ever a time that you feel like you're down in the dumps, go serve others. I promise you, anytime I've ever really been, stricken by something that is negative or a very challenging situation, I've relied on serving others, people like yourself. And that alone creates so much pride, fulfillment, joy. It just removes the reality of what's going on. Now, it doesn't mean I turn a blind eye or put my head in the sand. I just go into a place of trying to help others, and by helping others, it's fulfilling to me, and it helps me get through those bad times. So hopefully this helped. These are some things I do in my day-to-day, in good times and in bad. But even then, most days are great days because of the perspective I bring in some of these action steps that I rely on every single day to keep myself in a positive thinking state, which keeps myself positive and brings joy to others around me.